When Bulgaria is mentioned, most people often think about a dilapidated country with bad living conditions, bad government, bad roads, bad infrastructure, and, well, let's just say it's all the bads you can think of. Plus, seriously, we cannot blame these people for holding such opinions. After all, the country was once almost even worse than that. But hey, cheer up, we have come up with some soul-lifting news that will definitely put a smile on your face. You see, the story has changed for this country recently, and Bulgaria has experienced some really remarkable transformations in many of its sectors. And here is where it gets even more interesting because it has even become one of the most visited countries in southeastern Europe today. Now, isn't that just awesome? You've got to admit that's one hell of a comeback story right there. But then, come to think of it, how did this country manage to go from being the bad apple to being the loved heaven for most tourists? Well, you're about to find out as we will reveal the top 10 facts you never knew about Bulgaria in this video. You definitely want to see the absolute shocker we have at number 1. Number 10. Bulgaria is one of the oldest countries in Europe. First things first, we just have to give it up for this country for its very rich and deep-rooted history. You see, Bulgaria is a country with a little bit of everything, so you definitely shouldn't be surprised at how it's managed to achieve such rich history and culture. This country has a long and complex history dating as far back as 681 AD. Now, that's just so long ago, even before some of our forefathers were born. But hold on, that's not all. Bulgaria is also the only European country that has held on to its originality and didn't undergo any change in its name. This means that even though various kingdoms and empires have ruled the country throughout its history, it has still managed to maintain its first name. Really impressive, don't you think? Number 9. Bulgaria is as authentic as it gets. Now, you were not expecting a country as old as this not to be proud of its authenticity, were you? Well, allow us to burst your bubbles then, because this country is as authentic as it can ever get. In fact, if you're that kind of tourist who is always looking out for original and truly local experiences, then Bulgaria should definitely be your next travel destination. No doubt, authenticity matters in tourism, and for better or worse, Bulgaria has plenty of it. Plus, to be honest, it's even too much that many people complain of difficulty navigating Bulgaria's streets because most citizens do not understand any language other than Slavic. Luckily, we're not party spoilers, so we'll tell you how to navigate this. Just grab a map, get a dictionary, learn a word or two, and you're good to go. Oh, don't worry, Bulgarians are typically hospitable and willing to lead you around as long as you are polite, so don't forget to wear your best manners and smile once you set foot on the Sofia International Airport. Number 8. Bulgaria boasts unparalleled archaeological endowment. Now, here's a quick challenge for you. Ask any geography professor about Bulgaria, and they'll most likely describe it as Europe's best secret. And guess what? They're not wrong, because the country boasts thousands of archaeological endowments. So if you're as adventurous as we think, here's an opportunity to be the next Lara Croft. It's time to put on your double thigh holster, glasses, and gloves as you come over to explore the cultural adventure and ancient treasures that lay scattered all over this truly unique land. Plus, if you think you can conquer more, then you should definitely seize the opportunity to follow the steps of the Romans, Thracians, or ancient Bulgarians by touring unearthed tombs here, visiting 2,500 years old ritual complexes, or simply visiting one of the archaeological museum's treasure expositions happening around town. Whatever your choice though, rest assured you will return home with fascinating stories, ageless photos, and unforgettable memories. Number 7. It is one of the cheapest European travel destinations. If you've traveled to any location in Europe before, you can agree that traveling to this continent costs quite a fortune. However, we can guess you'll want another trip here soon, especially after all the beautiful things you saw the last time. But then, how can you match your desire to visit Europe with your thin budget? Well, here's where Bulgaria steps in to save the day. But hey, let's get the money question out of the way first. You see, Bulgaria is a great value destination for people traveling on a budget. In fact, even seasoned world travelers like Wandering Earl often suggest that Bulgaria might be the best value destination on Earth. And if you ask us, that's just as close to the truth as it can be. After all, Sofia, which is Bulgaria's most expensive city, ranks among the top 5 most impressive but yet affordable European cities today. Oh, and did you keep count on how many times we have already mentioned the word affordable? Well, that's just because Bulgaria is truly affordable in every sense of the word. So if you want to enjoy the thrill of visiting Europe but don't have the budget to match, just book a ticket to Bulgaria already. Easy peasy. Number 6. Bulgaria is a home of tall mountains and beautiful landscapes. Okay, this one is definitely some good news for mountain lovers. This country has some of the highest mountains on the Balkan Peninsula, and most of them are right outside the Blagoevgrad. So whether your favorite activity is biking, hiking, skiing, or swimming, you can rest assured of having an exciting time exploring Bulgaria's ranges and peaks, which are quite famous for their breathtaking scenery. While here, you can also take a ride to the Rila National Park, where you'll see the Musala Mountain. And in case you didn't know, this mountain is the highest peak in the entire Balkan Peninsula, with an elevation of 9,596 feet. Oh, and now that we think of it, the Greeks would happily erase this mountain from the map to have Mount Olympus be the highest. But, well, Zeus is not that strong anymore. That's on a lighter note, though. But seriously now, there are many other mountains to explore here, as long as you're adventurous enough to go the length. Number 5. Bulgaria has never been colonized. For a country as old as Bulgaria, you'd definitely expect many shocking facts linked to its history. Well, you're right this time because the country has a number of facts that will definitely boggle your mind, and here's one of them. Did you know that this country has never been colonized in its history? Well, you should know it now, and yeah, you're welcome. If you're wondering why this beautiful country has managed to escape the clutches of colonization, then now's a good time to tell you that it's not just the strokes of luck. You see, the strategic location of this country, as well as its formidable natural defense, has always been a fortress against the tides of colonization. Oh, and the mountains we talked about earlier aren't just for pictures and adventures. Instead, they are like a shield that has protected the sovereignty of this endowed nation all these years. Number 4. Bulgarians are relatively short people compared to other Europeans. When you think of Europeans, what comes to your mind? Let me guess, you think about tall, towering individuals, right? Well, sorry to burst your bubbles because that's not applicable in Bulgaria. On average, Bulgarian men measure around 178 centimeters, while the women measure an average of 164 centimeters. So, you see, these figures are relatively low compared to other European countries. But here's the catch. These people still do well enough compared to the world average, and this means that while they're not the tallest in Europe, they're definitely not the shortest people in the world. Moreover, there's another silver lining here, because being shorter doesn't mean being less happy. So Bulgarians, just like any other people, often find joy in the small, beautiful things of life. Number 2. The Bulgaria roses. Of course, there's just no way to talk about Bulgaria without mentioning its beautiful roses, and your visit to this country can never be complete without experiencing the sweet-smelling Bulgarian fragrance. We are not even exaggerating here. You see, the country is already widely known for the amount of roses spread around its territory. And while they may seem like your ordinary flowers, they're not. In fact, they are just like the country's top symbol and a significant export item. But that's not all, because what makes these flowers really remarkable is that their petals contribute up to 85% of the world's rose oil production. Whoa, now that's absolutely massive. So next time you're wondering where Bulgaria is getting all the money to sustain its steady development, then maybe just Google the price of rose oil. Number 1. There are over 200 natural mineral waters in Bulgaria. Indeed, there's definitely no better fact fitting for our number 1 spot than the refreshing power of Bulgaria's natural mineral springs. You see, this country has an abundance of mineral waters that are both beautiful and refreshing. Plus, most of these springs were discovered and developed centuries ago, but they've not stopped being major attractions to the country's capital even till today. And as a matter of fact, a bulk of these waters have been converted to spa resorts that attract lots of people who relish the healing power of water. So whether you believe in the power of natural flowing water or not, you definitely want to see how well nature has arranged these waters. Plus, of course, don't forget to come with your camera because you will definitely find a cool background for your new profile picture. No doubt about it, Bulgaria is a place that offers a little of everything, and to be honest, we won't be surprised if you want to come back after your first visit and maybe stay forever. Tell us which of these facts surprised you the most in the comments section. And don't forget to hit the notification button so you can be among the first people to see our next video. I promise you, it's going to be an absolute stunner.